let's now talk about what's happening with June toll revenues and where do things stand. Who better than Tushar Kawedia from IRB Infra to join in on the show to talk about how the toll revenues are panning out for them. Tushar, hi morning. Good to have you on the show. Just going by your toll revenue collections, while they've been strong on a year-on-year basis, rightly so, sequentially it's a bit of a downtake. Why is that? Because this time the onset of monsoon also has been delayed, so you can't really blame it on the rains, can you?
No, sure. So if you see on year-on-year basis, we have grown almost 18% on the toll collection, and always the third and fourth quarter is very crucial, and which is affected, which has a higher toll collection. So comparing with the fourth quarter, there is no comparison with the fourth quarter, which we see that on a sequential basis there will not be growth, but on YoY basis there will be a growth, and which is reflecting due to higher economic activities, which we are seeing in the reported GST toll collection by government as well. In our projects, if you see, almost 18% growth have been seen in Mumbai, Pune, which is the largest toll contributing asset for us. Other projects have also delivered a good growth of 10 to 11% with a tariff hike of 5%, which was started from say April 23 itself. So the collections are quite robust, and we see for the rest of year, due to higher economic activity, the toll collections are bound to improve in the coming quarters as well.
Sure. So let me just highlight the 2 points there. First up, with respect to the collections, yes, they have been strong, but can you split it for us in terms of what the traffic growth has been and what's been the growth on account of the revision of the rates? And secondly, when you say that the momentum is likely to continue or in fact get better in the second half, are you expecting what, a 20% plus kind of growth when it comes to toll collection?
So if you see in IRB's portfolio, the Mumbai-Pune contributes higher, and which has already got the tariff revision from 1st April. The project has delivered 18% revenue growth. And for this complete year, if we expect from the IRB portfolio, the revenue growth should be in the range of 18 to 20%, considering both the projects that falls under IRB portfolio. Considering the private InvIT projects, which are also delivering a good growth, we have witnessed around 22% growth on quarter YoY basis. All projects taken together, we expect that 18 to 20% should be achieved for this year as well.
Okay, what about the outlook in terms of your order book guidance for your EPC and BOT projects with the elections coming up? Do you think that we can expect tendering and orders to increase?
Yeah, if you see our order book, which includes both EPC and the O&M order book, the EPC itself is at 9,000 crores and the balance 26,000 crores is towards O&M. The total order book stands at 35,000 crores, including the project we have recently backed, that is the Hyderabad ORR project in the state of Telangana. So with existing order book, we are quite comfortable that for next 1.5 years, even if there is no award, we will be able to continue delivering a growth of 8 to 10% on the construction side. Moreover, what we learned from the reports that this year ministry has increased their award they are planning to increase their award from 12,500 kilometers to around 14,000 kilometers, which itself will bring a lot of opportunities for us. So overall, looking to the election in the next year, there will be a higher awards in the coming quarters, and which will bring immense opportunity for us as well.
Okay, could you quantify that at all? What's the visibility that you have on what your order book is going to look like by the next fiscal?
Okay, so if you see, we are having an order book of 9,000 crore, and we generally consume. We have to execute this in next 2 years. So considering around 4,500 to 5,000 crores in a year, we expect a rise in our order book, say around 10 to 12% what we have consumed for the FY23. So our target would be our endeavor to have a couple of projects which will bring an addition to EPC order book to the extent of 10 to 12% what we have already consumed last year.
Growth of 10 to 12% when it comes to the order book, but help us with an update with respect to your Ganga Expressway project as well. How's the execution panning out there, and what's the plan with the Hyderabad Outer Ring Road project?
Yeah, so Ganga, as you see, we have been discussing this project. We have already commenced the construction in the last year. The progress is quite well. and it's as per the schedule plan. We are very much on to achieve the completion of this project as per the set timelines. It almost contributes 35 to 40% to our construction revenue for this year. And as far as Hyderabad ORR project, we are on the advanced stage of getting the financial closure done for this project. We expect these projects to commence operations from next month. We will approach the authority for the appointed date once the financial closure is done, and our target is to commence the operation from August 23 itself.
Just talking about your construction revenue, you said 30% almost comes from the Ganga project itself. Analysts were penciling in that for the entire year, the construction revenue could be to the tune of around 5 to 6,000 crore rupees with a margin profile of 23 to 25%. Is that realistic?
So as we see in the last quarter also what we discussed, we are planning to have a 10 to 12% increase in the construction revenue with the existing order book under. And last year we have executed around 4,500 crore. We expect around 10 to 12% higher construction revenue on the backdrop of the available projects we have in our portfolio today.
On the balance sheet side itself, how are things looking with respect to the debt? Even in terms of cost of borrowing, has it been inching higher for you on account of the overall rate revision? And does a pressure on your finance costs and profitability?
So if you see, our projects have already achieved the completion certificate completions, and we have been working on refinancing our project, which falls under the private InvIT. Last year, we have done a refinancing for 3 of our assets, which was very successful, and which has resulted into lowering our debt cost. Similarly, we are targeting around 4 to 5 assets more in this year, where we will go for refinancing, which will help us to reduce our debt cost and keep the debt cost remain under control, and which will also help to the higher returns from the projects. So our target is to get this refinancing continue as an exercise for this year as well, for another 4 to 5 projects falling under the private InvIT portfolio.
And, just wanted to understand from your point of view, due to the monsoon, has there been any impact in slowdown of your projects or execution work seeing some sort of a slowdown?
So as a seasonal impact, generally the second quarter always have a lower construction revenue because of the execution gets slower due to the higher monsoon in couple of the projects which we have. Generally, the second quarter is always a lower. But having said that, we have all the projects where we have received the appointed date and construction is ongoing. There will not be any hamper on the construction activity. However, it will be in line with what we generally achieve in the second quarter due to monsoon.
Tushar, just quickly before I let you go, is there any monetization on the card for this year? Anything that you're transferring to maybe the InvIT or monetizing completely?
So as we discussed, our endeavor is to have this the Hyderabad ORR project and the other one, that is the BOT project in the state of Gujarat, that is the Samyakhali Santalpur BOT project. Our endeavor is to execute that project from a private InvIT platform, and we are in the process of completing the process, say in a month or 2 months time, and start commencing the construction activity on those projects as well, construction and operation both from private InvIT.
Okay, good to have you on board. Thanks so much for taking time out and joining in. That's IRB Infra for you.